Good evening, everyone. My name is Xean, and welcome to another Hangout live stream. This one's going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to be playing a game or showing a game or talking about a game, although the thing I am going to talk about is influenced by quite a handful of games. Now, before I continue this, I need to see how this looks right here. Moving my mouse that way. That way I could see the motion in the video feed just to make sure that the footage looks good. And so far it looks good. And I'm moving the mouse. Yep, everything is looking fine. I'm doing this right now because the internet connection is right now a little bit stable. I am planning on switching internet providers soon, so hopefully as soon as we switch, the internet will be super stable. That way I can do a live stream series that I have in mind. I can't wait. But that will be until then, and once I have a lot of free time on my hands. But before I also start the stream, I just want to show you that I am behind the scenes recording more episodes for Xean Plays Eternal Sonata. Episodes 4 and 5 are right here. I haven't ended episode 5 just yet. I took a break because, as you could see, I recorded an hour and 18 minutes worth of it, so I need to record more for this episode, which is what I'll be doing sometime tomorrow. So, yeah. And just to be... Yep, everything looks like it's working well, so why don't we go ahead and get started? So, I don't need my headset for this, so let's go ahead. What I'm going to do tonight is read you a story or a book that I've been working on for well over a year now. It's called The Saviour. To recap, I've had an idea for a story since high school. It was little ideas here and there. I've mentioned having a DeviantArt account a long time ago, and it's long since been deleted. I forget how. But I mentioned working on a story a long time ago. It was called The Ice Queen. The Ice Queen was a prototype for The Saviour, which was originally about 4 high schoolers that were getting summer jobs, and one high schooler, the main character of the story, was having trouble finding a job. And at one point, one day, she decided to take her friends out and about and use a little bit of her money that she has left to buy them coffee. Somewhere between that, her town ends up being engulfed in a bloodshed warfare between robots and parasites. That prototype lasted 5 short chapters, and unfortunately, I think I've accidentally erased them. The computer that the files were stored on has since been reformatted, so yeah, that concept is lost forever. Thankfully, quite a few ideas in that story live on in The Saviour. Yeah, the name The Saviour, it went through quite a few name changes, so I'll explain some of the name changes if I remember once I read this. But yeah, I've been working on this story fully since January of 2025. Once the ideas kept coming into my head more and more, that's when I really wanted to type all this down. So let me see. Okay, everything's good. So let's go ahead. Okay, where I am so far in the completion of my book is that I've got, like, just 2 nights ago, I got chapter 7 done and proofread. So the prologue plus the first 7 chapters are done. So I'm going to show the first 5 chapters, but let's start with the prologue. Now, Normally, I would work my book in Notepad++ because dark mode, I would sometimes whenever I have an idea and I want to type it down, it's usually in the mornings or in the evenings, and I don't want a bright light on the screen when I'm working on it, so I usually have this open up and there we go, something like that. But I think well, let me see how this looks on the stream's end here, if I can. Let me see. It's taking a little while. The white doesn't really look all that bad, but the black doesn't look bad either. You know what? Let me go ahead and use Notepad++ just for the purposes of doing this. So, yeah. All right. So here's the prologue, and this is what the beginning of the story is about. So, yeah, 2150 AD. Mankind's technological advancements in space travel had improved significantly to the point where there we go. This is kind of a second proofread, so if I miss a detail or two, I'm going to add a few things. Mankind's technological advancements in space travel had improved significantly to the point where we are able to traverse beyond the Milky Way galaxy. Deep within another galaxy we call Monarch, we discovered new planets: Monotrail, Senmir, Tate's-Linnet, and even dwarf planets like Nor. We've colonized on a few moons as well to further our research, but one planet to take note of is the planet we discovered in 2160 AD, Angleron. Yeah, this is how it's spelled. Think like English, and there you go, Angleron. All right. Upon landing on the Paradise planet, we were greeted by the inhabitants, the Angleronians. They look a lot like human beings, but with some unique characteristics. The males have bright blue eyes and white hair, while the females have bright green eyes and blonde hair. Both genders also have gills on their necks. They were hesitant at first, but they allowed us to roam around their home and discover to our heart's content. The people, their way of communicating, the plant life and food, everything. Not one word was spoken from them, but they understood what we were trying to accomplish. It took roughly 25 years to study all of Angleron. Down to the end, the Angleronians have not once shown an interest in our technology, so we respectfully left them alone and never looked back, thinking that this is our first and final encounter with them. But in 2235 AD, a council meeting was held. The representatives announced an important mission, allowing a team of scientists accompanied by soldiers to travel to planet Angleron to see if their theories were true. Whatever theories were thought up wasn't told to the general public. The team was led by a Senmiran doctor named Toa Sorova and a human soldier, Michael Solomon. Their starship, the Laconia, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but Lycaunia. Their starship... Sorry if I'm a little bit hesitant. A little bit stage fright right here, since this is... I mean, I've shown details of my book here and there on a few live streams, so showing this in the first 5 chapters is a little bit nerve-wracking for me. The Lycaunia. Let's do that. Their starship, the Lycaunia, launched on January 14th the same year. 2 months went by and the council didn't receive any messages from the Lycaunia. Worried? They tried to get into contact with the moon colonies and Monarch to see if anything has happened on their end. Unfortunately, there was no response. Fearing the worst, the council allowed 4 rescue vessels to venture off to Angleron. Several members volunteered for this effort, 2 of which were my father, Edgar Matthews, and our family friend, Samantha Wallens. The vessels immediately took off and the council was expecting a good outcome, but they too never made it back. Feeling defeated, the council decided to cease any and all further rescue efforts. Many families, never knowing what has happened to their loved ones, has plagued the council with guilt, never mind the cost of it all. Here we are now in the year 2245 AD, still thriving. We've managed to recover quite a bit. It's a ways away, but we're getting there. Everything has been going smoothly, all things considered. And yet, I keep looking up at the sky, longing. My name is Sierra Matthews. For several years, I have trained myself for many opportunities in my line of work. But my reason for becoming an elite soldier was so that, one day, I get to travel to planet Angleron and find out what has happened to the Lycaunia. Were the scientists' theories correct? Did something get in their way? Are they alive? Are the Angleronians safe? Such questions keep me up at night. Even though the Council isn't willing to take any risks today, I'm willing to take that risk. I know my mom wants to take this risk as well. I just wish we were given one more chance. She's looking through her workroom window, which I think should be one word. There we go. In Sierra. Maybe one day. And someone over the intercom is contacting her. Matthews, you are to report to the Council. A new mission has been assigned to you. I'm on my way. Sierra begins walking to her door, but turns around to look at her work. Again, I need to do that. There we go. She turns around to look at her workroom window again. She looks down with a disappointed look on her face, and then back up with confidence before heading out. And that's the prologue for the Saviour. The history as to when Angleron was discovered and questions arising as to why they can't go there. So let's go ahead and open up the first chapter, which is entitled The Separation, which, as you saw, every chapter begins with the. And yeah, these titles do play a significant reason for the chapter. So The Separation, which you'll see right here. Chapter 1, The Separation. There is one continent on Angleron that is noticeably smoggy. Compared to the rest of the planet, this continent is completely barren and void of life. From what looks to be countless facilities mining for materials from within the planet to other buildings focusing on other matters. One facility to take note of is one from within the mountain region. Built a long time ago at the center of a great crater, it is the biggest building on all of Angleron, giving the impression that it is taking charge. Upon the outer peak of the crater are two young Angleronian females, twin sisters. Curious, the both of them decide to traverse inside the crater to see what is going on. Delving deeper into the crater, they quickly sneak their way through by hiding behind buildings and boulders while also discovering strange-looking creatures. These particular creatures surveyed one area at a time, almost routinely uncanny. The eerie, dark atmosphere and sudden loud noises scares the twin sisters. Ultimately, they start circling back. However, halfway through their trek, they are suddenly spotted by two creatures. The second sister is completely terrified, while the first sister tries to shield her, even going as far as fighting back. But her punch and kicks... I'm not sure if that's the correct way. Does it sound correct if I say, but her punches and kicks? Let's see. But her punch and kicks. Maybe I should change that to... what would it be? But her punch and kicks end up hurting her instead. Okay, how about this one? But her... hitting the creatures... There we go. I think that's better. But her hitting the creatures ends up... Wait. But hitting. There we go. Much better. But hitting the creatures ends up hurting her instead. Much better. One creature starts stunning her constantly, and the next creature dismembers both of her legs. The pain becomes extremely apparent that the Angleronian lets out a long, blood-curdling scream. The second sister tries to get in the creature's way, only to be violently pushed aside. The pain is too great for the first sister that, after a while, she slips out of consciousness. As the first sister is going in and out of consciousness, this is what she sees. Being dragged through a hallway, seeing her sister right in front of her, seeing her sister being taken away, seeing a moving ceiling, seeing unfamiliar beings in a room with her, seeing those beings getting shot at, being carried off somewhere, seeing someone tinkering with a big sphere, seeing that same someone outside of the sphere she is currently in. Lastly, seeing her home tens of thousands of feet in the sky before passing out completely. Meanwhile, back on Earth, we are introduced to Sierra Matthews, the daughter of the famed Admiral Annabelle Matthews. She stands at 5 feet 9 inches and has brown hair that is down to her neck. The 25-year-old young woman just got done with her mission and is reporting back to Representative Miles Deacon at his office. And this is him speaking. As expected, Matthews, your work on this mission was truly exceptional. It is very appreciated, sir. And he's going through her documents, which I should probably put that in hyphens. So, Representative Deacon goes through her files or documentations. It's always good to proofread when you're doing this. Okay, there we go. I very much appreciate it, sir. Representative Deacon goes through her documents. And that's not a period. There we go. I'm amazed you haven't received the title of Super Soldier yet. You have done more than enough difficult missions to earn it. Super Soldiers only take on difficult missions. Honestly, it sounds very limiting to me. I like to keep my options open. I'll take on missions a Super Soldier can do, but I also want to be out there for our citizens, even if the job is easy. I see. A very admirable reason. Regardless, though, you did an amazing job. And she's saluting. Thank you, sir. Let's see. There aren't any new missions currently. And Representative Deacon has a thought and then looks to Sierra. You know, have the rest of the week off. Take it easy and relax for a while. Yes, sir. And Sierra exits Deacon's office and goes to an elevator. And this was something that was recently added. I decided to add the introduction to Admiral Annabelle Matthews. So, outside of the Federation, a small starship lands a few yards away from the front entrance. The crew members place a staircase on the left side of the airship as the doors open up. Exiting out of the ship is Admiral Annabelle Matthews, returning from an important mission for the Federation. The 49-year-old woman descends down the staircase and is greeted by several crew members who are saluting to her. It's good to see you back, Admiral. It's good to be back. Keep up the good work, men. Yes, ma'am. Keep up the good work, men. Yes, ma'am. The crew members start to work on the starship as Admiral Matthews makes her way to the front entrance of the Federation. After entering inside, she turns left and sees Sierra. Admiral. At ease, Matthews. I take it you did well on your mission? Yes, ma'am. There are no missions I could be assigned for, so Representative Deacon gave me the rest of the week off. You deserve it. Are you on his way to his office? Yes, we have important business matters to discuss. All right, then. I won't keep him waiting. I'll see you later. Good day, Matthews. Back in his office, Representative Deacon finishes his work. The door to his office makes a small ringing noise. Enter. Admiral Matthews enters into the room. Ah, Admiral Matthews, welcome back. How did the meeting went? It all went well. We came to a mutual agreement that will benefit the majority. We'll be working with them soon enough. Good news to hear. Agreed. Although, I wonder, what's on your mind, Admiral? It's about expanding far beyond Monarch, which leaves Deacon a little surprised. What? Everything within Milky Way is cared for, and we've only explored 30% of Monarch. I believe we're ready to discover the rest. Caught off guard, Deacon is lost in thought. Sierra exits from the front. I'm not sure if that's a neat transition between scenes, but this is pretty much the best that I have right now, so yeah. Oh, might as well save. There we go. Even though Notepad++ keeps track of the many things you've changed, even if you don't save, whenever you load this up, it still leaves off where you, well, last left off. So Sierra exits from the front entrance of the Federation and sits on the front steps. Many crew members are seen moving the starship to a different section of the Federation. Once the area is cleared, Sierra looks up at the sky. It looks like most of us won't be getting work for a while. Maybe I should travel out of state and go stargazing. The air where the Federation is located is pretty thick, to the point that a person will not be able to see stars at night. The setting is midday, and the sky is slightly smoggy. Even Sierra can't help but notice it. Leaving her disappointed. There we go. Leaving her feeling disappointed. There we go. If I could find a place that has a clear sky. After a while, a mysterious object appears in the Earth's atmosphere, and Sierra can see its descent. Which has her curious. Yeah, you're going to be seeing many of this throughout the story, so if it's a little bit too much, then a little bit of advice here and there I'll greatly appreciate, since as someone who hasn't read a book since high school and trying to write a book, yeah. After a while, a mysterious object appears in the Earth's atmosphere, and Sierra can see its descent, which has her curious. What is that? Back in Deacon's office, he gets a call from the intercom. Representative Deacon? Yes, go ahead. Something has just entered into Earth's atmosphere and is heading straight for us. How long until it makes impact? Admiral Matthews looks out Deacon's window. Any second now. It's coming in fast. What's the size of it? It doesn't seem to be too big. And Admiral Matthews. I see it. It looks like it might crash just south from the Federation. And Matthews is already out there. It doesn't look threatening. But just in case, let's have a few soldiers out there before it crashes. I'll announce it. Representative Deacon presses a button that activates the intercoms from within his section of the facility. And you get the gist. You can hear his voice through the intercoms. Any soldiers available, please report to the south entrance of the Federation. An unknown object is about to crash land near here. Proceed with caution. Numerous soldiers make their way to the south entrance as they prepare for the impact. The object crash lands in the field about a mile away from the Federation. Sierra and the other soldiers are in awe. And I guess I'll do this. Admiral Matthews contacts Sierra through her earpiece. And then erase that. Yeah, there was quite a bit of, when the character's talking and I put an action right after their name, giving you a detail as to what they're doing while talking. So, yeah. And I spelled Admiral incorrectly. There we go. Admiral Matthews contacts Sierra through her earpiece. Matthews, I see you down there. Can you search that impact crater? And might as well add that too. Sierra presses on her earpiece. And then she says, yes, ma'am. And a few soldiers are right behind her. So there we go. And there we go. I see you down there. Can you search that impact crater? She presses on her earpiece. Yes, ma'am. She looks to a few soldiers behind her. Both of you, follow me. Sierra and the soldiers head straight for the impact crater. When they got to the top of its edge, they see that within the crater is an escape pod. Sierra gets closer to it, and the door on the pod slowly opens up. She then takes a look inside and sees that there is an alien girl who is twitching but unconscious. And she's surprised. An Engleronian? The Engleronian is dressed in beige and is covered in her own blood. And might as well add, Sierra is looking let's see, is looking inside the pod's interior and gets confused. You'll be seeing this a lot where quite a few characters keep consistently get confused by something that they don't understand. So the Engleronia is dressed in beige and is covered in her own blood. Sierra is looking inside the pod's interior and gets confused. But how did she realize something, and the look of fear starts to develop within her? And you probably get the idea. And whenever Admiral Matthews is talking, you know it's through her earpiece. Matthews, what do you see? And might as well do this. Sierra looks to one of the soldiers. And whenever we're referring to a soldier, it's capitalized, since that's pretty much the main profession in the Federation in this story. Sierra looks to one of the soldiers. Get the medical team out here now. She's barely clinging to life. Hurry. Yes, ma'am. And let's do something a little bit different. Sierra contacts Admiral Matthews. Admiral Matthews, an Engleronian is in this escape pod. An Engleronian? Affirmative. And I have a deep seeking feeling that something might be following her. I don't know what it will be, but I have the whole facility make their way to the south entrance and prepare themselves for Code Red. I'm on it. I'm on my way to the emergency room to perform an operation on the Engleronian. She's unresponsive. Get to it. We've got outside handled. Yes, ma'am. Admiral Matthews exits Deacon's office, and a soldier happens to be nearby, and they both start walking to the south entrance. And you can tell he's talking with her. There we go. Orders, Admiral. Code Red. Everyone, make your way to the south entrance and get into position. An escape pod crash landed with an Engleronian inside. What? And because of that, there's a possibility she's being followed. It could be big, so just in case, prepare for the worst. Yes, ma'am. Various soldiers are seen exiting out of the Federation to get into their firing positions. Unmanned machines are prepared as well. Are we to destroy what's to come, Admiral? Admiral Matthews is thinking for a while. No. Admiral? Already talking to a soldier, so that's redundant. Ready to disable our cannons. We need to know what we're going to be dealing with. The soldier is ready to disable our cannons. Just as they are about to finish with the preparations, two space vessels exit out of warp, and both start descending to Earth. The soldiers exercise extreme caution while waiting. The space vessels emerge from the clouds. And Admiral Matthews, fire. The soldiers fire the disabler cannons, which shuts down the mechanism on the space vessels and, as an added bonus, makes them descend slowly towards the ground. As both space vessels landed, the team gets ready. All right, team, follow me. As they approach, though several yards away, both space vessels self-destruct, leaving Admiral Matthews slightly annoyed. Perfect. Admiral Matthews presses on her earpiece. Get the firing squad out here to douse the flames. The disposal team should be out here too for extraction and identification. We need to see what kind of space vessels these are. Someone threw her earpiece. One step ahead of you, Admiral. Admiral Matthews looks at the escape pod several yards from her right. Let's take a look at that escape pod. They all head straight to the escape pod. The Admiral nods to one soldier and he examines the escape pod. After a while, the soldier notices some of its recognizable details. Wait, Admiral, look at this insignia. Admiral Matthews kneels down to look at the insignia. And its design too. Doesn't this escape pod belong to... You've done your research. Yes, it belongs to one of the rescue vessels we sent out to Angleron 10 years ago. The Mycia, to be exact. How is that even possible? Nothing that was sent to Angleron has ever returned in the past 10 years. It might have been an inside job. A job done by a human. A human? Are you sure about that, Admiral? No Angleronian knows how this works. They have rejected our technology to begin with. It had to have been a human. And yet, only one Angleronian was able to escape. And not the human. That human probably couldn't leave. And she has her hands on the escape pod. Whoever launched this escape pod was waiting for the perfect opportunity to show us that at least one rescue vessel still exists and is fully operational, but being used for other purposes. The human is probably hoping that something good would happen after sending the Angleronian here. Another rescue effort, maybe? The Angleronian might be our guide. Yeah, this scene took me quite a long while to reword, reformat, to make it sound a little bit more... I wouldn't say more fluid, more cohesive, if that's even the right word, but... Yeah. She looks up at the sky. It looks like we might have a chance to break through. The soldiers start talking amongst themselves concerning the matter. And there I go, not spelling her name right. Okay, there we go. Admiral Matthews stands up and turns around. You're all dismissed for the day. If most of you want to help out with the disposal team, then you have my permission. As for the rest, go back to your quarters and prepare yourselves. Some of you might be busy in the coming weeks. After we clear the area, I'm going to discuss this matter with the council. Although before that happens, I need to see something. What would that be, Admiral? I need to see if the Angleronian knows something. And this is by far the shortest chapter in the entire book. So that's the ending of chapter 1, the separation. So let me take a look at this, and things look pretty... Man, I just read the prologue in chapter 1, and it's 43 minutes already. Gosh darn. All right, then. All right, so that's chapter 1. Let's go ahead and save this since I did make a few changes. And let's go ahead and read chapter 2. Chapter 2, The Formation. Inside one room within the hospital section of the Federation, the Angleronian is laying in bed while slowly getting back consciousness. When she is able to open her eyes without issue, she then notices someone, who is Sierra, standing right next to her. Immediately terrified, she tries to move, but Sierra stops her. Wait, try not to move, you're injured. Sierra realizes she is speaking English to an extraterrestrial. And she feels dumb about it. Yeah. Realizes she's speaking English to an extraterrestrial and she feels dumb about it. What am I doing? You can't understand me. She looks... Well, let me see. She looks at the Angleronian and then looks back at the medical supply she's holding. And she's calm. Okay. A little bit of a spoiler right there, but then again, you're going to see it anyways. Sierra starts gesturing to the Angleronian, showing her that she is not in any danger and that her wounds are being treated. After observing Sierra for a while and seeing her genuine smiles, the Angleronian realizes that she is not being harmed and calms down a bit. Once Sierra finishes healing a part of her injuries, the Angleronian surprises her. Thank you. Yep, that's right. The Angleronian knows English. Is caught off guard. Sierra's caught off guard. Wait, you can talk in English? Yes. Is it bad? And I think you get the gist of how someone who is surprised will act in a situation like this. Oh, and since she is an extraterrestrial, she is also literal minded, so the Angleronian is confused. So let's get rid of this. Whoops. The Angleronian. Yep. And she's like, yes. Is it bad? No. It's just, well, your people can't speak their mind. And the Angleronian is confused. Speak their mind? Oh, what I mean is, what you say comes from your thoughts. Sierra points to her head in the Angleronian. Okay. But from what I've read, it seemed like it was impossible for your people to talk at all. How did you learn to speak? I learned from a human. Sierra is now more surprised. Yeah, Sierra is now. Yeah, let me reread this. But from what I've read, it seemed like it was impossible for your people to talk at all. How did you learn to speak? I learned from a human. Sierra is now more surprised. Really? When did this happen? A long time ago. He showed me and my sister an object that had words. We were scared, but he told us it would not hurt. We tried it. He taught us for many days until he stopped seeing us. He left the object, and me and my sister used it until it stopped. We talk in English to test. My people knew, but did not like. Yeah, her sentence structure is like this on purpose, since obviously English is not her first language. And she doesn't use contractions, and as you just saw earlier, she's literal minded. So maybe I should. Oh, yeah. Sierra. Let's see. Pleasantly amazed. That's probably a bit redundant, but yeah. Sierra is pleasantly amazed. Amazing, and it looks like you've taught yourself well. Some words I do not know, but I can speak okay. Do you remember the name of your teacher? The Angleronian is a little sad. No? He left and did not say his name. That was the last time I saw him. It makes me sad. He gave me and my sister names. And you probably get the gist. Sierra is surprised right here. Really? Your people don't have names nor titles. What are your names? My name is Cecilia, and my sister is named Catherine. They are very good names. And that's when you change from the Angleronian to Cecilia. So he told me and Catherine he had a child and he cared for us as his kids. We did not have a mom or dad. He would play with us too. He sounds like a sweet person. Yes. She's already sad, so. Seeing how sad Cecilia is, Sierra tries to lighten the overall mood of the room. Right, I'm sorry. I haven't I haven't even told you my name. My name is Sierra. Sierra Matthews. And let's take out the confusion because, you know, you have two names. Some humans have a first name, a middle name, and a last name. I do have a middle name, but to be simple, Sierra Matthews is what I'm called. Excuse me. Do I call you two names? You don't have to. You can call me Sierra. 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 Hey, you're a quick learner. Cecilia smiles back to Sierra. Then she realizes something. I ask, Sierra, where am I and what are you doing to me? You're on Earth, my home, in a hospital room getting proper treatment. We found you in an escape pod close to this facility. Cecilia looks confused. Realizing this, Sierra pats Cecilia's arm with reassurance and gives her a smile. I'll try to explain a few things to you in due time. You are unconscious and gravely injured. Also, yes? I think you can tell how they're feeling just by reading the dialogue alone. You're missing both your legs. Cecilia looks down to see her legs, both of which are gone. It was a little difficult trying to properly bandage you up due to your skin quickly sealing your infected areas and your skeleton protecting you from the slightest touch. But after numbing the area little by little, we were able to... Sierra then notices Cecilia looking up at the ceiling while laying in bed, feeling hopeless and quite upset. What happened? Me and Catherine walked on Badlands. We got close to the big buildings and two monsters saw us. They wanted to take us and I tried fighting. One shocked me and one cut my legs. It hurt. I fell asleep and I wake up here. I do not know what happened when I went to sleep. I do not know what has happened to Catherine. Realizing that she is separated from Catherine and Engleron, Cecilia's eyes starts welling up. Catherine? Home? She starts crying. No. Empathy starts developing from within Sierra and she lovingly holds on to Cecilia's hand. Hey, Cecilia, it's going to be okay. I'm sure Catherine has found a way to escape. I can tell that she means a lot to you. You love her very much. Believe that she's somewhere safe on your home. Please try not to dwell on such thoughts for Catherine's sake, okay? Sierra smiles at Cecilia. Even though she is still crying, Cecilia nods in agreement. Do you want to know something? I've always wanted to see your home. And let's do a detail here. Cecilia is wiping away her tears. Really? Yes. I'm hoping that one day we humans can go to your home and see if we can fix all of this. It really hurts to see you or anybody cry. I want to do what I can to make people happy. I can go back home? You can help us? I am sure, no doubt about it. Cecilia calms herself down. But before we do that, we have to make sure you are 100% back on your feet. I have something to show you. Sierra goes to a nearby closet and brings out two highly mechanical prosthetic legs. Cecilia is instantly curious about it. Them. Cecilia is instantly curious about them. Some humans are born without an arm or a leg. There are even some who have lost their limbs in an accident of sorts. So to help with that, we have made these prosthetics, or fake limbs. Sierra holds up one of the prosthetics close to her legs to give an example. These can give people a second chance at living a normal life. They were pretty flimsy from the start of their creation, but they have since come a long way. It's going to feel really weird at first, but with enough exercise and muscle memory, I'm positive you'll be walking without any issue in no time. It'll be as if nothing has happened to you. Cecilia is instantly in awe. I will have legs. I can walk. Sierra walks closely to Cecilia and smiles at her. Smiles to her. Cecilia, I promise you, I did say that I want to fix all of this. Let's start by helping you get better and having you in tip-top shape. Thank you, Sierra. The door to Cecilia's room opens up and Admiral Matthews enters inside. Matthews, can I have a minute? Yes, ma'am. Sierra looks back to Cecilia. I'll be right back, Cecilia. Don't worry, you're in good hands. The nurses here will care for you, okay? Okay. Sierra walks out of the room with Admiral Matthews. The Admiral is intrigued from the little things she has heard in the room. And I'll go ahead and Sierra is trying to calm down her excitement. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. All right, let's read this again. Sierra walks out of the room with Admiral Matthews. The Admiral is intrigued from the little things she has heard in the room. Let's go ahead and save. Cecilia, and speaking English? Sierra is trying to calm down her excitement. I know. I can't believe it either. It's quite a lot to take in. Any possibility she said the name of her teacher? A name wasn't mentioned. The only clue she told me is that it was a human male and that he told her he has a child. And yeah, she's thinking. A human male that has a child. Does this information carry any significance? No, not at the moment. Oh, did anything happen after we took Cecilia to the emergency room? Yes. 2 space vessels entered into Earth's atmosphere. So something did follow her. Correct. We disabled their mechanisms the moment they entered on site. However, both vessels self-destructed upon landing. We've just extinguished the flames, and the disposal team will be identifying their origins soon enough. You've made a good call back there, Matthews. Thank goodness. I can't imagine what would have happened had those space vessels caught up to Cecilia. Sierra begins to feel a sense of dread. Probably something far worse than the condition she's already in. And nothing like that happened. It's because of you that we were able to handle the situation with the space vessels. Cecilia is now safe and getting the proper care she needs. Admiral Matthews smiles too. A lot of "at" in this. Admiral Matthews smiles to Sierra. And it looks like she's recovering well thanks to you. You saved her life, Sierra. Yeah, there will be a few instances where Admiral Matthews and Sierra drop the formalities, especially when they're talking in private. So, thank you, Admiral. I'm glad. Did she say anything else? Well, it looks like the planet Angleron is in danger. She said that she saw a few buildings and some monsters. The same monsters dismembered her legs, after which she fell out of consciousness. She just now realized that she's separated from her sister, Catherine, and doesn't have any idea as to what has happened to her. Sierra looks down, feeling hurt. She was crying too. Admiral Matthews looks to the door. Admiral Matthews looks to the door to Cecilia's room. Poor thing. I want to help her in any way I can. You might get your chance. Sierra is confused. Quite a lot of this. I'm warning you. How? Wait, what is it you wanted to discuss with me? Did you notice anything about the escape pod Cecilia was in? Sierra begins to ponder over the matter. Honestly, no. I was too focused on Cecilia's recovery and the possibility of her being followed. That's a failure on my part. I apologize. But why? Was there something else? We found out that the escape pod was originally from one of our rescue vessels 10 years ago. All right. I guess I can leave in shocked as a reaction for the character like this instead of just putting it in hyphens. So the ones we sent to Angleron? Which one? The Mycia. Wow. Sierra then realizes that something was not adding up. Wait, the Angleronians rejected our technology. If it came from the Mycia, come to think of it, how did Cecilia get here then? I believe that someone on Angleron, a human, sent Cecilia in that escape pod to show us that at least one rescue vessel still exists and is fully operational, but is being used for other purposes. Whoever sent Cecilia here was able to slip through the cracks, meaning that we might be able to slip right on back. This really shocks Sierra, and it almost has her in tears. Oh my goodness. It's finally happening. For real. We'll have to wait and see. I need to discuss with the council about all of this. Do you think they will allow it? I think we have more than enough reasons to believe that they will go through with it. I'll head to Representative Deacon's office first. He and I go way back. I'll see if I can get him to understand. All right. Sierra looks back at the door to... Yep, told you. Sierra looks back to the door to Cecilia's room. I'm going back in to perform another operation on Cecilia. She'll be needing some additional assistance for her mobility. Get onto it. Help your friend. Yes, ma'am. Sierra enters back into the emergency room to a smiling Cecilia. Cecilia, are you ready to walk again? Yes. And let's see, fixed a few things, so let's go ahead and save. Moments later, Admiral Matthews is at Representative Deacon's office. She has finished discussing the mission she wants to authorize. And he starts talking. This is a lot to take in, Admiral. An Angleronian landing here on Earth in an escape pod from one of our own, no less. Space vessels of unknown origins chasing after it, and the possibility that whoever is out there is slowly becoming defenseless. And now, you want the Council to authorize you and your team to lead a rescue effort for the planet Angleron? That is correct, sir. All of this happens after you want to expand more within Monarch. I fear that we will repeat history, sending Dr. Sorova and Solomon out there only for them to not return, followed by our first and only rescue attempt also failing to return. We all know what's out there. Need I remind you of the damage it's brought on all of us? We all thought we would never recover from it. That is something we cannot go through again. Silence settles in for a while. If I may, sir. Go ahead. How many soldiers work for the Federation? Deacon ponders on the question. Most, if not all, knew what they were signing up for. Some of them even go through Operation Ghost Hunter just to prove themselves. I know for sure that our fellow soldiers who've boarded the Lycaunia and the rescue vessels knew the risks, even when they didn't see it coming. That's part of the job. And I'm also sure that this mission, if approved, will be a dangerous one. I would be lying if I said I won't allow anyone to die on my watch. If anyone were to die, I will make sure that their deaths will not be in vain. There are a few recruits I have in mind, and I know that they will pull through. Deacon is still unsure. We've recovered quite a bit during these past 10 years. We even made improvements on how we train newcomers. You have my word that this mission will be a successful one. Deacon is deep in thought. Well, I'll see what the council will have to say on the matter. She's saluting. Thank you, sir. Admiral Matthews walks out of Deacon's office, and he's slowly smiling. The Matthews family always knew when to say the right words at the right time. He looks up. Even Edgar had his moments. Now, there is a part of me that actually wants to extend this passage of time as their own events in this chapter. But, I mean, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, and I'll cross that bridge when I come to it, but this is what happens. 3 weeks have passed, during which the unknown space vessels that followed Cecilia to Earth were being identified, Cecilia gaining prosthetic legs, as well as learning how to walk with them, and the Council discussing plans for another possible rescue mission. At present day, we see numerous employees in the auditorium from within the Federation talking amongst themselves before the Council meeting starts. Sierra is by herself, just looking around, and then a young man enters into her line of sight. Slightly younger than Sierra, he has deep blue highlights at the tips of his hair and wears glasses. Sierra? Is that you? Heh, she's surprised. Jacob? Both of them are very happy. Hey! Sierra and Jacob hug each other. Long time no see, my friend. Same to you. How have you been doing? Pretty good, actually. I've been able to accomplish many tasks I thought were impossible for me. He points to the pin on his shirt. As you can see, I'm an elite soldier now. I do use a staff as my weapon, but I haven't done any dangerous missions to count me as a super soldier, which is fine with me. I like being just an elite soldier. I have other skills I like using for my work, and that's good enough for me. Congratulations. I'm glad you found your way. I knew you can do it. Thank you. What about you? I didn't see you at all during Academy. Where have you been? Well, you see... Sierra gets interrupted by a woman approaching her. She is 1 year older than Sierra, has orange hair that is long and straight, and is relatively well built. And she's happy. She says this happily. Whoa, aren't you a Cypher Sore Eyes? Hey, friend. Sierra recognizes her and tries faking a smile, which causes Jacob to be confused. Alice, hey, it's been a minute. You could say that again. She notices Jacob. I see you've made a new friend. This is Jacob Henning. We first met several years ago back in high school. Jacob, this is Alice Mazer. It's nice to meet you, Alice. Same to you. She turns her attention immediately back to Sierra. You didn't attend Academy. We weren't that far apart in grade levels, and yet I couldn't find you anywhere. It's like you fell off the face of the earth. Where have you been? I've been taking private lessons. There were some things I needed to learn that the Academy couldn't be bothered teaching. What about you? She crosses her arms. And raises an eyebrow. Yeah. What about you? Knowing you, you've probably took any course that piqued your curiosity. You know it. When you graduate high school early, it leaves you with endless opportunities to learn nearly everything. With all the skills I've acquired throughout the years, I'm hoping Admiral Matthews adds me to her team. Let's see. Can I add something for this one? This makes Sierra slightly hesitant. Really? Really? Believe it or not, friend, I'm actually a high-ranking super soldier. She looks to the stage. I've heard rumors that the Admiral is going to start an important mission today. She looks back to Sierra. I get the feeling that she's going to be needing all the help she can get, and I want to use my skills to help her succeed in that mission, whatever it may be. I am also sure that there will be new blood on the team, and they'll be needing a mentor to show them the ropes. Alright. This leaves Sierra speechless. Alright. This leaves Sierra speechless. That's pretty noble of you. And I mean, imagine all the potential pranking you can do to the newer recruits. You gotta make them feel right at home on the first day. And since it'll take a while to get to our destination, that means we'll have a lot of quality time to get to know each other. I'm going to make everybody feel welcomed. Alice's enthusiasm leaves Sierra feeling quite disappointed. Right. Alice then notices one of the councilmen on stage setting up the podium. Well, it looks like the council meeting is about to start. It was nice meeting you, Jakey. Likewise. Hope to see you soon, friend. As she's leaving, Alice pats Sierra's right shoulder. Whoops. Darn it. Okay, there we go. Hey, it's raining right now. Jakey. Now that's a first. And Sierra says this deadpan. She has not changed in the slightest. Jacob is a little scared. Scared to talk. So, an old acquaintance? She's now calm. You could say that. But what she just said about the Admiral starting an important mission is true. How so? It has something to do with what happened near here a few weeks ago. The audience starts applauding as the meeting starts. Let's hurry up and find our seats. Everybody in the auditorium starts taking their seats as the council presents themselves on stage. Representative Deacon walks up to the podium. Let's go ahead and save since I did make a few changes. And I really didn't check to see if my microphone is still working. It's still working. Nice. All right. And let me check the feedback. Uh-oh. This isn't good. Well, Streamlabs isn't telling me any problems. And... oh, it just delays it. Okay. All right. Wait, what? How long have I been doing this? An hour and 11 minutes? And it just started raining, so... this is lovely. Representative Deacon. Ladies and gentlemen of the Federation, a decision has been made from all within the council. But before it is said, there are a lot of new faces inside this auditorium. For those of you who are unaware of what has happened recently, allow me to explain. 3 weeks ago, an escape pod from the Mycia entered into Earth's atmosphere and impacted a mile away from this facility. Inside that escape pod was a gravely injured female Angleronian. Surprised, the audience starts discussing about the situation. Jacob, surprised as well, looks to Sierra and she nods a yes to him. Almost immediately afterwards, 2 unidentified space vessels entered into the atmosphere as well. Our efforts to disable their defenses were proven fruitless as they self-destructed upon landing. Members of the Pyro team quickly extinguished the flames, and the disposal team later identified the vessel's origins. From what we've been informed, the vessels were made from materials found on Angleron and on Earth. Regarding who was piloting the vessels, nothing could be verified. Since the center of the explosions were detonated at the bridge on both vessels, anybody that was there disintegrated beyond identification. Jacob is intrigued by all of this. Jacob is intrigued by all of the information. By the information, since it's not all of it. Fascinating. As for the Angleronian, she was taken to the emergency room. Our fellow elite soldier and doctor, Sierra Matthews, performed 2 operations on her. She has made a full recovery and is currently under Matthews' supervision. Shocked, Jacob turns to Sierra for confirmation. That's how you spell confirmation, right? Yeah, confirm. Confirm. Okay. Confirmation. There we go. Really? Mm-hmm. Now, with all of this in mind, it has been brought to our attention that the possible reason as to why all of this happened is because someone on Angleron dropped their guard. And since things have improved on Earth for the past 10 years, we may be able to travel back to Angleron and finally find out what has been going on. He looks to Admiral Matthews. The Council as a whole has approved of this mission, which will be led by Admiral Annabelle Matthews. Admiral, you have our attention. The audience applauds as Admiral Matthews walks up to the podium. With full support from the Council, I have selected several candidates who will become members of my team. She takes out a button from the pocket of her uniform. When I push this button, you will hear a sound coming from your earpiece. That should tell you you have been selected. When the Admiral pushes the button, several soldiers within the audience can hear a sound in their respective earpieces, and they began to talk amongst themselves. Jacob didn't hear anything from his earpiece and notices Sierra not saying anything nor giving off a reaction, leaving him feeling a bit disappointed. I guess we weren't selected. Give her a minute. Wait, what? I have also selected 4 key soldiers for this mission. These 4 have proven their worth throughout the years and will be invaluable assets to the team. I trust that they will succeed. Without further ado, Elite Soldier number 1, Admiral Matthews. Please make your... No, not Admiral Matthews. Elite Soldier number 1, Sierra Matthews. Please make your way to the stage. The audience applauds as Sierra makes her way to the stage and stands close to the podium. Elite Soldier number 2, Jacob Henning. Jacob has a surprised look on his face. Smiling, Sierra motions to him to make his way to the stage, and he proceeds to do so. She pats him on the shoulder as he got closer. There we go. As he gets closer to the podium. Super Soldier number 1, Alice Mazer. Sierra loses color on her face as Alice makes her way to the stage, waving at the audience. I shouldn't be surprised, and yet I am. What a coincidence, friend, Jakey. Sierra immediately fakes a smile, and Jacob waves back to Alice. And Super Soldier number 2, Luke Derrickson. Jacob does not recognize the name and looks to Sierra. Who? Luke Derrickson. I've heard of him. He's a high-ranking super soldier. Although apart from his profession, I don't think any of us knows what he's like outside of work. Alice. He keeps to himself. Wait. Luke makes his way to the stage. He is a few inches taller than Alice, has brown hair that combs over parts of his forehead, and has a strong build, but not overly muscled. He and Alice are genuinely happy to see each other, and they both shake hands. It's good to see you, rival. It's an honor to work with you again, Mazer. Likewise. Sierra is still confused. The two of you know each other? You've got to get out more, friend. Admiral Matthews looks back to the audience. We have a 24-hour preparation period before takeoff. Those assigned to the Phoenicia are to report to the hangar tomorrow at 1200. She ends the meeting with a smile. I hope to see all of you there. End of briefing. The audience applauds, and a full day passes. The Phoenicia is currently docked inside the hangar to the Federation. The hangar of the Federation. Many members are seen entering inside the starship, including Jacob, Alice, and Luke. Sierra and Cecilia are about to walk on board. Are you ready to go home, Cecilia? Cecilia is feeling a little nervous. Yes, but this looks scary. It's okay. When we go inside the ship, we'll be on the bridge where my mom is. You've seen her before. She walked into your hospital room asking for me. She is your mom? Yes, although she's been extremely busy these past few days, so the both of you didn't meet properly. She's actually leading us on our adventure to your home. And you get the gist of her being surprised. Oh, really? Really? She's been hoping this day would come. She's very nice. I think you'll like her. Follow me. Sierra and Cecilia enter inside the Phoenicia and are immediately on the bridge where they see Admiral Matthews talking with one of her crew members. There she is. Sierra and Cecilia walk up to Admiral Matthews. The Admiral then dismisses the crew member and centers her attention on Sierra and Cecilia. Admiral? Cecilia looks confused and was about to salute as well. At ease, Matthews. Sierra lowers her hand, as does Cecilia. The Admiral then looks to Cecilia. And let's get rid of that. It's good to see you in good health, Cecilia. I'm Annabelle Matthews. Hello, Admiral. You can call me Annabelle. You don't work for me nor with the Federation, so there's no need for you to call me Admiral. You can take it easy, all right? Okay. Are you getting used to your new legs? Cecilia happily looks at her prosthetic legs. Yes, Sierra gave me these. I can walk again. And she did a fantastic job. Sierra will be your doctor on this mission. Go to her when you are in need of medical help, okay? Okay. You should be proud of yourself, Matthews. And she's slightly saluting. You're too kind, Admiral. And she centers her attention back to Cecilia. All right, might as well do that. The Admiral centers her attention back to Cecilia. So we can get rid of this. Okay. Sierra has also told me about the danger your home is facing. You've been through a lot. I promise you that we will do what it takes to help you and your people. Thank you, Annabelle. A pilot named Rivers approaches Admiral Matthews. Admiral, we are ready for launch. All right, await your orders. Yes, ma'am. Matthews, can you take Cecilia to your station? Yes, ma'am. She looks to Cecilia and points to her station. It's right over there. Okay. Sierra and Cecilia walk to their station. Admiral Matthews sits in her chair and presses the button which activates the starship's intercom. Admiral Matthews to the crew of the Phoenicia. We are preparing for launch. Head to your stations and get ready. Matthews out. Outside the Phoenicia, the workers are removing any equipment that could get in the way of the launch. Eventually, the hangar is ready for the Phoenicia to take off. Admiral, we are clear for takeoff. All right, Rivers, fly us out. Yes, ma'am. The Phoenicia begins to levitate off the ground of the hangar. The constant shaking of the starship starts to scare Cecilia. Sierra holds her by the shoulder. Don't worry. Rivers has been working for my mom for years. He's a good pilot. The Phoenicia launches and makes its way into space, several miles away from Earth. Cecilia has had her eyes closed the entire launch. Cecilia, look. Cecilia opens her eyes and she sees space outside the starship's window, completely grabbing her attention. Sierra smiles at Cecilia's reaction. All right, Rivers, prepare for warp. Yes, ma'am. Rivers presses a few buttons and has his hand ready on the lever. Entering warp in 3, 2, 1. He pulls the lever and the Phoenicia enters into warp. All right, that is the end of Chapter 2, The Formation. And let's see here, and I've been dropping frames this entire darn time. Lovely. It was working fine before. What on earth is happening? I mean, I guess that's okay. I'm just reading, so... And let's see. Oh, wow. It's made it a good hour until it starts having errors. Yeah, since this is just text, not much I can do about it, so... All right, so that's all of Chapter 2. Let's go ahead and open up Chapter 3, The Fourth Departure, which makes sense, considering that Angleron was discovered a long time ago, and then the second departure was the mission for Dr. Sorova and Solomon. The third departure was the rescue vessels, and the Phoenicia going to Angleron is the fourth departure. So it's kind of a reference to Star Ocean. In fact, I probably should have mentioned this right off the get-go, but the influence behind the Saviour is Star Trek, Star Ocean, which in and of itself is a influence of Star Trek, Xenosaga, Metroid, and a little bit of Star Fox. So, yeah. Alrighty. I guess I'll type into the chat box, even though probably won't be much. No. And my usual hellos. All right, let me recheck. Okay, dropping frames again. I did mention before that I am switching internet providers in the future, so um, yeah, nothing heavy is happening right now in regards to streaming. I'm not showing my face. I'm not playing a game. I'm just showing text documents of my book. So, alrighty. How long have I been going? An hour and 25 minutes? Okay. All right, I need a water break. I really need a water break right now. I needed that. Reading takes a whole lot out of you. Yeah. All right, let's see if we can get through at least. I did say I wanted to read at least 5 chapters, but yeah, chapter 5 is kind of a long one. It's very, very wordy. So, but we'll see. It's 9 o'clock right now where I'm at. So, all right, let's go ahead and start reading. Chapter 3, The Fourth Departure. The Phoenicia has just entered into warp. Several crew members on board the starship are diligently working on their assignments. The intercom comes on and they hear Admiral Matthews. Admiral Matthews to the crew of the Phoenicia. Excuse me. It will take 72 hours to reach Angleron. However, before we get to the planet, we'll need to take a look at the moon colonies to see if we can find anything. So use this time to prepare yourselves well just in case if we do come across anything dangerous. If I need you to report to the bridge, I'll notify you through your respective earpieces. Have them on at all times. Matthews out. Admiral Matthews stands up to survey the bridge before looking to Cecilia. I doubt we'll get any interruptions while in warp. Things should be quiet from here all the way to your home. And let's leave the concern out because anything could be of concern. Do bad things happen out here, Annabelle? It's very rare. We haven't had any issues for years, so the chances of finding trouble right now shouldn't happen. You have nothing to worry about. Okay. In the meantime, why not have Sierra show you around the Phoenicia? You might find some interesting things here. Yes, ma'am. Have fun, you two. To Cecilia. This way. Sierra and Cecilia walk into an elevator. Once inside, Sierra presses a button and the doors close. After a short moment, the doors open up to a completely different part of the starship, leaving Cecilia surprised. Sierra, amazing, isn't it? You just shut the door and now we are in a different place. The elevator is how we get around in the Phoenicia. This ship is huge, so it has a lot to offer for everybody on board. Right now, we are at our living quarters. You yourself have a room as well. I'll show you where it is. Sierra and Cecilia start walking to the left until they cross paths with Jacob. Hey, Sierra. Hi, Jacob. Jacob sees Cecilia for the first time and is instantly in awe. Wow, I never thought I would meet an Angleronian in person. This is amazing. I know, right? With her hand on Cecilia's shoulder, Sierra introduces her to Jacob. Cecilia, this is Jacob Hennig. He's a friend of mine. Cecilia? And she's a little shy. Hello, Jacob. Might as well add this. Jacob is surprised to find out that she can speak English. Jacob is surprised to find out that Cecilia can speak English. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You can talk and in English? Yes. And you have a name too. Hey, Jacob takes a moment to collect his thoughts. Wow. Who taught you English and gave you your name? A human, but I do not know his name. That was a long time ago. And he looks to Sierra. Someone from the Lycaonia, maybe? It does match the timeline, but we won't know for sure. I'll have to discuss this with the Admiral about it later. And he looks back to Cecilia. think I might change a few things later on down the line. Let's just assume that Cecilia is a little bit shy when meeting new people around here. So let's see. Jacob centers back to Cecilia. If you're wondering, the name Cecilia and her twin sister Catherine, that's a reference to the Xenosaga Cecily and Kath. Jacob centers back to Cecilia. Man, I wish I could talk to you some more. There's so much I want to ask, but I have some things to take care of first. He's holding up a book called The Complete History of Angleron, as well as do a little homework. I'll see you later, Cecilia. Sierra? Goodbye, Jacob. Talk to you later. Jacob walks past them. Shall we? Sierra and Cecilia keep walking until they see a door which has a plaque on the left side which reads Sierra Matthews. As you can see, this is my room. Up to 2 people can share a room, so I'll be sharing mine with you. Sierra stands right in front of the door and it automatically opens up. The majority of our living quarters have the same general layout: 1 desk, 1 dresser, and 2 beds. My bed is the one close to the door. That bed close to the window is currently unavailable. Do you want this to be yours? I could switch if you want. No, that is okay. Sierra notices Cecilia looking at the window. Outside, you could see the warp speed. Wait until we get out of warp. You didn't have enough time to see, but space is a beautiful thing to look at. I cannot wait. Sierra opens up a dresser and takes out a change of clothes. Here, Cecilia. Sierra hands Cecilia the clothes. Clothes? Yes, she points to herself. This is called a battle uniform, which is approved by the Federation. All of us have to wear these before going out on our missions. You'll need to be prepared before reaching your home. Try them on. A few minutes pass by and Cecilia is now in her battle uniform. Seeing herself in the mirror, she is feeling a little discomfort. It is a little tight. Yeah, that could be a bit annoying at first. After a while, it isn't too bad. The color is the same too. Well, there are soldiers that I know of who add unique designs to their battle uniforms. It could be a small piece of clothing or jewelry. For me, I'm wearing a half skirt, and I also wear this necklace, which was a gift from a family friend. Do you have something that might feel more like you? No. She takes one good look at her old light beige shirt. Wait. Cecilia takes off her vertical shoulder holsters and puts back on her light beige shirt, completing the look along with her holsters. And Sierra, it is unique, but... Concerned, Sierra looks at the bloodstains on Cecilia's shirt. Are you sure? Cecilia looks at herself in the mirror and notices the bloodstains. It is okay. This is made from home. I want it with me. All right then. If you're ready, then let's look around some more. Okay. Sierra and Cecilia leave their living quarter, I should say right now. You know, sometimes my USB devices disconnects for some reason, so I need to be careful and unless I want my progress to not be saved. So Sierra and Cecilia leave their living quarter. While walking down the hallway, they could hear awful music being played behind closed doors in someone's room. The nameplate beside the door reads Alice Mazer. Cecilia, what is that? Sierra ignores the music completely and just keeps walking. Oh, never mind that. Let's just keep moving. It still confuses her. Okay. They walk into the elevator and are then transported to the mess hall. This is the mess hall. This is where we eat and hang out with other people. Cecilia knows that there is nobody in the mess hall. I do not see them. Where are they? They're probably busy with other things at the moment. Sometimes when time can't be wasted, they take their meals with them. By the way, are you feeling hungry, Cecilia? Yes, a little. I did not eat at your home. The hospital didn't have anything that was good for you. Instead, you were fed through an IV that was made by me. Is there food here I can eat? Sierra starts thinking. I wonder, your diet is fruit provided by your home. I think we might have something similar. Let me show you. Sierra leads Cecilia to a machine that creates meals. The machine is displaying numerous options ranging from fruits, vegetables, meat, and desserts. Options for beverages can also be selected. Let's see here. After looking through a few options, Sierra selects an apple, an orange, 2 strawberries, and a fruit smoothie. The machine creates the selected in 10 seconds. While carrying the fruits and the smoothie, Sierra leads Cecilia to a table and they both sit down. All right, Cecilia, here we have an apple, an orange, and some strawberries. Fruit is rare back on Earth, so these are only recreations. The taste isn't nearly the same, but it's edible. Give them a try. Cecilia first examines the apple and then takes a bite out of it. Wide-eyed, she proceeds to eat all of it. The orange is eaten next, and then the strawberries. This leaves her smiling. Sierra is sort of caught off guard. Sierra sort of caught off guard. Was it really good? Yes. They can also be made into a drink. This is called a smoothie. Without a second thought, Cecilia grabs the smoothie and drinks the whole thing. She leans back, feeling satisfied. Thank you, Sierra. You're very welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Will you eat too? I'm not hungry at the moment. Thank you for asking. Cecilia is a little concerned. Yeah, I use the word concerned a lot in this book, so yeah, a lot of concern. Really? Really? Even soldiers are trained to go without eating for long periods of time, but I promise you, I'll eat later. We can come back here tonight for dinner. Okay. And let's see. I guess we can leave that out. Let's see. I guess we can make our way to the fitness and resting area. Follow me. And let's save. The elevator takes Sierra and Cecilia to an end of a hallway. That hallway leads them to the fitness area where several crew members are seen working out. Cecilia is confused by the activity. What are they doing? They're exercising. We have to keep in shape somehow, especially out here in space. She points to the resting area. After exercising, we go inside the resting area to relax. The crew members begin to notice Cecilia, leaving her nervous. Leaving her feeling nervous. Nervous and embarrassed. They are looking at me. It's their first time seeing an Angleronian in person. They're just surprised and amazed is all. Sierra does notice some of them intensely staring at Cecilia. Although with that being said, she raises her voice. Ladies and gentlemen, be mindful of others around you, Angleronians included. Understood? All of them quickly saluting. Yes, ma'am. The crew members quickly get back to exercising. Sierra just shakes her head. Anyways, let's go someplace else. Almost immediate. Yes. While following Sierra, Cecilia notices a door in the middle of the hallway. This leaves her confused. What is this room, Sierra? Sierra looks back and sees the door. Oh, this is the environmental simulator. You enter inside this room, press a few buttons, and experience to your heart's content. Cecilia still looks confused. Realizing that she got carried away by her own excitement, Sierra starts giggling. Right. It'll probably be better if I show you. Follow me. I think you'll like it. Cecilia follows Sierra into the simulator. The room is completely light gray with only a screen next to the left side of the entrance. Now, Cecilia, I want you to do something for me. Yes? I want you to imagine a place, something that might make you feel safe and happy. Is there a place you can think of? Cecilia thinks for a while. Well, a big grassy field with flowers and a bright blue sky, too. Me and Catherine always liked playing in the fields when we were kids. Smiling, Sierra inputs a button combination on the screen. After a short amount of time, a wide open field appears right before Cecilia and then surrounds her, leaving her speechless and in awe. Pretty soon, the simulator becomes what Cecilia wanted to see. She starts running down the field, feeling the wind in her face. She kneels down to touch the grass and smells the flowers. Finally, she looks up at the sky while laying down. Sierra walks up to Cecilia and kneels down next to her. Save. Do you love it? Yes, I can look at this forever. Some of our fellow crew members use this room to get away from life's problems. Many haven't seen their loved ones for an awful long time, so this is the closest thing to home on their journey. It will never beat the real thing, but it does its job. Cecilia continues looking up at the sky. Sierra looks up as well. And even then, this is still pretty. After a while, Cecilia starts losing her smile. Sierra notices her change in emotion. Cecilia, are you okay? Suddenly, Cecilia starts emitting what appears to be dark energy. Sierra looks at the aura with curiosity before turning her attention back to Cecilia, who is still not smiling. A little concerned, she shakes her gently. Hey, Cecilia. Cecilia snaps out of it. She sits up and realizes her dark energy, which quickly fades away. This leaves her feeling scared. What's wrong? I guess I'll leave concerned out. This does not feel right, Sierra. You've probably started developing powers. It's normal at your age. It is not mine. It does not belong to me. Like if someone forced this power onto you. Now that I think about it, yeah, that didn't look right at all. I am afraid. What if I hurt people with this? Don't be scared. I'll help you. I don't have any powers, but we can use your power for good together. Don't worry, you won't hurt anybody. Sierra just had a thought which leaves her feeling hurt. She stays quiet before focusing on another matter. Actually, there's also another use for this room, to prepare ourselves for battle. Before we get to your home, you'll need to learn a few things, and I can't believe I'm going to ask for her help, but at least there's a second option behind her. She presses on her earpiece. Alice, Luke, can the both of you make your way to the environmental simulator? And Alice, can you bring the high-frequency blade from the weapons department while you're at it? Ask for the one with the energy storage modification. Luke, through her earpiece. I'm on my way. Alice threw her earpiece. One cool-looking sword coming right up. And Sierra turns her attention back to Cecilia. We have no idea what we're about to face up against until we get to your home. I hate to have you do this, but we are going to train you how to fight. Cecilia looks down, feeling uncomfortable. Fighting hurts. I do not want to hurt people. The simulator got quiet, and although she may be hesitant, Sierra wants to assure Cecilia of something. I want to show you something. She takes out her weapons, Tone Fuzz. Cecilia is showing a little bit of curiosity. What are those? Weapons that I use when I'm out on my missions. Sierra pushes a button on one of her Tone Fuzz and it sharpens at both ends. Yes, these can be used to hurt others. Sierra pushes the button again to make her weapon unsharpened. She then holds her Tone Fuzz on both ends to give Cecilia a demonstration. However, I have always used my weapons in this state. When it's like this, I am able to knock out my enemies as such. Sierra proceeds to do a knockout motion with her tonfa. Even though she is confused, this fascinates Cecilia. It does not hurt. I'm sure it does for the enemy, but it's not enough to outright kill them. And even then, it's those enemies that hurt our people. And This surprises Cecilia. Your people are in trouble? Occasionally, we have a few troublemakers all over our home. Our job as soldiers is to defend and protect others from dangerous people. I want to help my people too. Can I do what you do, Sierra? While you can do what I do, this job can be dangerous depending on the situation. Your people never had to fight before. Also, your powers are given to you so that you can help others and live satisfying lives. They were never meant to be used as weapons. I said that you won't hurt anybody. The only way we can make sure that doesn't happen is to help you control your powers and to keep them at bay. Okay. A sound is made through the speakers of the simulator. We're here, friend. Sierra shuts down the simulator, and both her and Cecilia stand up. Alice and Luke enters into the room. Luke brought training dummies along as well. Let's go ahead and save and recheck this. Oh my goodness, I can't wait until we change providers because this is annoying. And I can't go back either. It really wants me to end this stream. There we go. Yeah, let's see. I mean, it doesn't look bad, so I'll just continue as if nothing bad's happening. Cecilia, this is Alice Mazer and Luke Derrickson. Both of them are super soldiers, trained to take on dangerous missions that most normal soldiers can't do. They'll teach you the basics of combat and show you how to use your weapon. Pleasure to meet you, kiddo. Greetings. Cecilia is feeling a little nervous. Hello, Alice. Hello, Luke. Nervous, kiddo? Yes? There's nothing to worry about. A few lessons from us is all you'll ever need. It'll be a piece of cake. Cake? Sierra, it's the type of food we humans eat. But I already ate. Alice is dumbfounded by Cecilia's literal-minded nature. Okay, never mind. We'll take baby steps since there's much to learn. She looks at herself. But I am not a baby. And Alice is irritated. How about like riding a power bike with training wheels then? I do not know what that is. Alice gets hit with a feeling of disappointment. Luke, I think she's got you beat, Mazer. And not understanding a metaphor wasn't on my bingo card today. Alice, be nice. Cecilia looks confused while Alice collects her thoughts before handing Cecilia her sword. Well, anyways, here you go. This will be your weapon. Alice hands Cecilia her high-frequency blade. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. Cecilia looks confused while Alice collects her thoughts. Let's see. Alice hands Cecilia her high-frequency blade. Regular soldiers don't use these weapons like we do. What you're holding right there is called a sword. Cecilia takes a moment to examine the sword. This sword, which is a high-frequency blade, is usually the starter weapon for super soldiers. Let's begin this training with something small. She looks to Luke. Rival, the dummies, please. Got it. Luke places 2 dummies at the center of the room. And you already know that Alice refers to Sierra as friend, so... Friend, have us stranded in the middle of nowhere. Sierra shows some concern, but she complies. The wasteland appears, and then Alice takes Cecilia's sword, showing her the sharp part of the blade. Alrighty, kiddo. When facing the enemy, it's important that you use this side of the sword for attacking. She reverses the sword. You can attack them the other way around if you want to inflict a concussion, but just for this exercise, let's stick with this side. She goes to her battle stance. Watch carefully. She uses the sword to attack the air a handful of times, after which she purposely smiles as she's looking at the sword. Ha! Baby's first weapon. She hands Cecilia back her sword. Give it a try. Cecilia swings her sword a few times, but is noticeably lacking in basic refinement. Reminds me of friends' first fighting lessons back when we were kids. Alice! Well, you'll get used to it in no time. She looks I guess when you're referring to it, then you could probably say at. She looks at the first training dummy. Okay, that works. Now, kiddo, what I want you to do is strike that dummy as hard as you can. Just one strike. Think you got it? Cecilia focuses on the dummy and then strikes it, sending it flying across the field. This impresses Alice. Not bad. Not bad at all. Although, as you can see, that dummy is still altogether not the least bit exciting to see here. She points to the hand Cecilia is holding her sword with. Kiddo, can you twist the handle of your sword? Cecilia twists the handle, which turns the blade sharp. It leaves her curious. This is like Sierra's weapon. Ooh, she doesn't. Okay, how do I rephrase this? Oh, maybe I can do this. Sierra, this is like your weapon. This intrigues Alice. Let's do that. Sierra, this is like your weapon. This intrigues Alice. Ah, so friend already showed you how your weapons work, huh? Yes. Cecilia is about to touch the tip of her sword. Well, unless you want to become the next dummy, don't touch it. It's very sharp. Cecilia withdraws her hand. By default, all of our weapons are set to non-lethal, which is supposed to knock out the enemy. Now, it is set to lethal. A single touch from your blade can be proven fatal if you're not careful. We only use that option as a last resort. She looks at the next dummy. Go ahead, dismember the dummy. Alice, I would have used a different word. Cut the dummy? More different. Slice the dummy? Never mind. Slice the dummy it is then. Cecilia focuses on the next dummy and strikes it, cutting it in half. This surprises her. Dangerous, isn't it? Normally, the Federation wants us to capture our targets and bring them in, but there are some exceptions. If the enemy becomes hostile and refuses to comply with us, then we are left with no choice but to kill them. Super soldiers, plural. Super soldiers tend to take on enemies that are a great threat to mankind. We have to be skilled to take them all down. Every single one of them. Now, switch back to non-lethal. Cecilia switches her weapon back to non-lethal. I'll have friend here explain your sword's upgrade. Sierra walks up to Cecilia. Do you see this empty chamber along the sharp part of your sword? Yes? That's the energy storage. Your power will be developing little by little, so you'll be needing some additional help controlling it. As long as you hold on to your sword, your power will be stored here. Do you see that button close to the hilt? This? Yes. That button will release your power from the sword. Here's what I want you to do. Focus your energy into the sword. Take your time, okay? Cecilia readies her sword and closes her eyes to concentrate. Her power is slowly being stored into the sword. Open your eyes. Cecilia opens her eyes and sees that the energy storage is filled with her power. Its colors are a mix of black, purple, and blue. Now the energy storage is full. She walks up to examine Cecilia's sword. From the looks of it, your power is that of darkness. Not likely for an Angleronian to inherit this power from the planet nor their parent. Darkness was never archived, so you may be right, Cecilia. This power was forced into you. She looks to Luke. Luke, can you pick up the first dummy? Will do. Luke picks up the first dummy and sits it in the middle of the field. Now, Cecilia, press that button next to the hilt when you are about to strike the dummy. We'll need to see what your power can do. Cecilia looks at the dummy and readies for an attack. She swings her sword, and before making contact with the dummy, she presses the button. Her dark energy releases from her sword, which not only cuts the dummy in half, but also leaves considerable heavy damage. This disturbs Sierra, but leaves Alice very pleased because she is crazy. This disturbs Sierra, but leaves Alice very pleased. Oh my goodness. Ooh, now that's something. Cecilia looks scared. Sierra assures her that it will be okay by placing her hand on her shoulder. This is always optional. I may have said we'll use your powers for good, but you don't have to use it if you don't want to, seeing the damage it can do. Never force it upon yourself, please. Cecilia calms down a little. For now, let's only focus on fighting without the need of your powers, okay? Okay. And Alice. Not everyone is made to be a soldier, kiddo, let alone a super soldier. It will require a lot from you, physically and mentally. The minds of some people were changed for the worse after a few missions. I would never wish this on those who are unfortunate. But with enough determination and dedication, you can make it through it all without issue. So much so, you might end up becoming a high-ranking super soldier like me and Rival. She looks to Luke. I challenge you. It would be my pleasure. Alice pulls out her primary weapon. You already know that she's talking with Cecilia. Look here, kiddo. This is my primary weapon, the Kusari Gamma, and that's Rival's primary weapon. Luke pulls out his scythe, which is about his height, leaving Cecilia surprised by the size of it. His is called a scythe. You might want to step back or else you'll get caught up in what's about to happen. Both Cecilia and Sierra went behind a few big boulders. Here's a taste of what several years of training can do for you, kiddo. Both Alice and Luke do a preparation battle stance. They approach at full speed and start attacking each other with their weapons, despite not once landing a hit. The sounds of clashing metal can be heard throughout the fight, as well as gunfire from Luke's scythe. Alice and Luke's primary weapons get entangled with each other, and they brought out their secondary weapons, Alice having nunchucks with blades at both ends, and Luke having mechanical claws on his hands and feet. After a series of attacks and evasive maneuvers, the battle ends when the both of them have their respective weapons near each other's necks. Cecilia is left in awe. Oh yeah, forgot to tell you. Most super soldiers have a secondary weapon. I have bladed nunchucks, and Rival has mechanical claws for his hands and feet. She also pulls out her firearm. Certain firearms are involved too. In fact, as you've seen, Rival's scythe has a shotgun built into it. Cecilia starts applauding very happily. You two are amazing. I know. And Sierra is talking with Cecilia. You yourself will be getting a firearm as well, and your legs also have battle properties. But I think we'll just focus on how to use a sword for today. Let's take this one step at a time. Okay? Admiral Matthews contacts. I've got to remember that's the update for this passage. Admiral Matthews contacts Sierra through her earpiece. Matthews, can you report to my room? There is something I'd like to discuss with you. Presses on her earpiece. I'm on my way. She looks to Cecilia. The Admiral is asking for me. Alice and Luke will help you until I get back. Okay. And Alice. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Sierra has her hands together as if she's pleading. Please be nice. Not to worry, friend. She's in good hands. Sierra looks to Luke for confirmation. I'll keep watch. Even though she is still hesitant, Sierra does trust Luke in watching over Cecilia. She then turns her attention back to her. Well, all right then. I'll see you in a bit. Sierra turns off the simulation and then exits the room. As soon as she leaves, Alice walks up to the room's controls while smiling. So, kiddo. Yes? Have you ever done on-foot racing? And the scene immediately switches to Admiral Matthews' room. Inside Admiral Matthews' room, she is at her desk working on something through her computer. Sierra enters in momentarily. You wanted to see me, Admiral? Yes, it's regarding Cecilia's teacher. Have you found out who it was? Take a look. She points to her computer monitor. Sierra walks up to the monitor, which is displaying a photo of a man. She is a little confused by it. Michael Solomon, the one who co-led the Lycaonia? The very same one. What's the connection? You told me that Cecilia mentioned a human that has a child. Most soldiers at the Federation are dedicated to their job, that they don't have time at all for other things in life. Almost every crew member on board the Lycaonia were just that. Except for Michael Solomon. Did he not do much in the Federation? What was his work history? And she's reading from the monitor. Let's go ahead and do this. Admiral Matthews is reading from her monitor. Records show that while he did become a soldier as a profession, he would only take on the basic missions. He was a family man first. He married a woman named Eden Crystallier in 2229 AD and had a daughter named Fabronia 1 year later. I see. But if he wanted to be with his family first, why did he take the job with Dr. Sorova? Sometime during his academy attendance, he had connections with Dr. Sorova. The doctor probably gave him reasons to join in on the mission. Whatever the reasons were isn't archived, and as you know, they've never returned. And Michael probably saw his daughter through Cecilia and Catherine, knowing full well he might not come back. Even Cecilia mentioned that he would take time to play with them. Sierra takes a moment to process all of this before looking back at the Emerald. Do you think he might be the one who sent Cecilia to Earth? We won't know for sure. It's probably unlikely, but not entirely impossible. I do still believe that it was a human nonetheless. It has to be. The Admiral then sends a picture of Michael Solomon to Sierra's tablet device. This again leaves her confused. What's this for? Do you think Cecilia might recognize him? Sierra has a surprised look on her face. Yeah, I think she will. Carry on, Sierra. Thank you, Mom. Sierra exits out of the Admiral's room. Eventually, she exits out of the elevator leading back to the environmental simulator. She presses a button on the right side of the entrance. Alice, Luke, it's Sierra. I'm back. And so the fun ends here. The door. Let's do doors. It's pretty much the holodeck. It's doors. There's two of them. The doors to the simulator opens up. Sierra walks in and sees a smiling Cecilia. You look very happy. How was your training with Alice and Luke? It was great. Alice showed me what on-foot racing is. Now that I think about it, you didn't do a lot of running back on Earth. I guess this is a good way to make up for it and to see how your legs work at full speed. Good move, Alice. You're welcome, friend. I raced with animals from your home. I think I raced a bear first and a tiger next. The legs you gave me are amazing. It was fast. I was fast and I won 2 times. While Cecilia is happy about her training, Sierra, on the other hand, has a shocked look on her face. She then gives Alice the death. Let's do the death stare. Or glare. The death glare. Alice, I told you to be nice. And Alice is genuinely offended by... Let's do that. Alice is genuinely offended. Hey, at least I told Kiddo not to look for... At least I told the kiddo to look forward, never back if she wanted to cross the finish line. Rival took care of the animals before they dared lay their paws on her. I told you she's in good hands. Sierra is visibly stressing out. I told you she's in good hands. God, why do I even... On the plus side, at her top speed, Rival and I can't beat her in a race. Even at our max, she's that fast. I don't know the company who made those legs for her, made those legs of hers, but they'll be getting a 5-star rating from me soon enough. Sierra tries to calm down by taking a deep breath before continuing to talk with Alice. Let's work more on Cecilia's training tomorrow. Thanks for your help, Alice, and thank you, Luke, for watching over her. Anytime. Catch you later, kiddo. Goodbye. Alice and Luke exit out of the simulator. Still worried, Sierra checks on Cecilia. Are you sure you're not hurt? Yes? Okay, I'm just making sure. Do you not like Alice, Sierra? It's a long story. She lost my trust some time ago. She looks at the exit. And ever since then, I've distanced myself from her. Oh. Sierra sees that Cecilia is a little sad by that realization. Since Cecilia isn't injured from her training, Sierra starts to think more about her trust with Alice. Although seeing how happy you were just now, I guess I can trust Alice just this once when it comes to her job. It tells me that she's doing something right. I like Alice and Luke. They are nice people. I want to train with them again. Cecilia is genuinely happy with her training with Alice and Luke. That's capitalized. There we go. Sierra couldn't help but return a smile. Tomorrow for sure. Come with me. There's something I want to show you. Okay. Sierra and Cecilia make their way back to their living quarters and they enter inside. Let's get rid of that since the sentence continues without missing a beat. So the Admiral and I were talking about who might have taught... Wait, let's see. So the Admiral and I were talking about who might have taught you how to speak English. Is that even remotely correct? So the Admiral and I were talking about who might have taught you how to speak English. Okay, it's correct. Do you remember what your teacher looked like? Cecilia does some thinking. He had the same hair and eyes like me. Tall. She then points to her battle uniform. Oh, and he was wearing these. Did he look like this? Sierra shows Cecilia a picture of a man on her tablet device. Cecilia immediately recognizes him and is filled with excitement. Yes, this is him. She starts looking around the room. Is he here? And Sierra's a little sad. Unfortunately, no. In fact, none of us has seen him in 10 years. I guess you could tell how disappointed Cecilia is. Oh. His name is Michael Solomon. He, along with other soldiers and scientists, went to your home for a mission. I saw people like him. They were busy with other things, but he was the only one who talked to me and Catherine. I wish I knew where he was. The Admiral is convinced that there are human survivors at your home. I know that you were asleep when you landed on Earth, but do you remember who sent you to us? Cecilia thought long and hard about that question. I do not know. I was in pain. I could not keep my eyes open for long. Sierra reassures Cecilia with a smile. It's okay. Don't force yourself. In my experience, a hunch from the Admiral is usually correct. We may end up seeing human survivors when we get to your home, even Michael. I hope so. She leans in to see Michael's picture and reads his name. Michael Solomon. If you want me to, I can make this into a picture. Picture? Let's go ahead and get rid of that. Sierra went to her dresser and pulls out another tablet device. She sends the picture of Michael to the device and shows it to Cecilia. Like this. Sierra places the picture next to Cecilia's bed. I've never met Michael in person, so I don't know what kind of father he was back on Earth. But what you told me about him so far has me convinced that he really cared for you and Catherine. Yes, me and Catherine were told that Mom went back into home after we were born, and Dad went missing. We do not know where he is. Older ones took care of us. We saw kids with their moms and dads having fun. We wanted that. When we met Michael, he felt like a dad to us. Maybe I should say he was a dad to us. When we met Michael, he was a dad to us. Cecilia looks at the picture for a moment. Thank you, Sierra. I love it. You're very welcome. She looks at the time. Well, we still have time to spare. How about we spend the remaining day getting to know our crew members? Don't worry. I'll yell at them if they decide to be dumb. Let's go. Sierra and Cecilia exit out of their living quarters. Music can still be heard from Alice's room, much to Sierra's annoyance. Yep, I added that last entry recently, so. Okay, that's chapter 3, the fourth departure. How the heck is everything? Oh my, that's a lot. Where's the back button on this thing? Streamlabs needs to really fix that. Too bad you can't refresh by doing this. You have to go through all the hoops and hurdles here. Yeah, everything looks fine here. I have 2 hours and 10 minutes. Gosh, that's a lot. Should I read chapter 4? It's getting close to 10 o'clock, so. I guess I could read one more chapter. Save chapter 5 for later, since that's when they're going to be trekking the planet. Okay, let's see. It's saved. Okay. Yeah, I guess I could read one more chapter, so let's go ahead and read the moon colonies. Now, this chapter is interesting. This was created almost out of the blue. I needed to have context in between getting to know a few characters on the Phoenicia, as well as their first trek on Angleron. So Admiral Matthews mentions the moon colonies. So that's how this chapter came to be. And surprisingly, this was the most easily created chapter I've ever done. Although proofreading it a while ago proved to be a little bit of a challenge. Thankfully, I was able to get it done. So let's go ahead and read this. Chapter 4, The Moon Colonies. 2 days passed by for the crew members on the Phoenicia. During that time, Sierra, Alice, and Luke have been helping Cecilia with her training in the environmental simulator. Alrighty, kiddo, show me what you got. Alice launches a training dummy several meters into the air. Cecilia also launches herself in the air using her prosthetic legs boost feature. When she reaches the same height as the dummy, she sets her sword to lethal and cuts the dummy. That's the correct quote. She sets her sword to lethal and cuts the dummy into pieces. She then uses her firearm to shoot a few targets seen around the area before landing on the ground. I have no idea why I keep spelling Alice with a capital L right there. Alice then prepares a throw. Think fast. Alice throws the sickle part of her Kusarigama at... Maybe I should do 2. Alice throws the sickle part of her Kusarigama to Cecilia, but she deflects it with her sword. Alice slowly smirks. Heads up. Cecilia looks up and sees a giant boulder descending towards her. She stores dark energy into her sword and releases it as she strikes the boulder, shattering it into several pieces. Cecilia and Alice put away their weapons. Well done, kiddo. You did great. Thank you. Alice looks to Sierra. And in only 3 days, too. I must say, friend, I'm impressed. She makes newer recruits back on Earth look like babies. Well, the both of you are excellent teachers, as expected from high-ranking super soldiers. I appreciate your help. She looks to Cecilia. You should be proud of yourself, Cecilia. Cecilia salutes very happily. Yes, ma'am. Careful, kiddo. If the Federation were to catch wind of your results, they would recruit you without a second thought. She's confused. Actually, you don't really need to read that she's confused. You can just tell. How do you catch wind? And how can you have 2 thoughts? And for tomorrow's lesson, reading a frigging dictionary. Don't make me take back what I just said, Alice. Cecilia still looks confused, and Luke is trying not to laugh. She had a whole decade friend. The possibilities were endless. I also told you that Cecilia had her reasons. Okay, and? What do you mean, and? I think I've seen this like that before, so I might as well. Got it. She had a whole decade friend. The possibilities were endless. I also told you that Cecilia had her reasons. Okay, and? What do you mean, and? That's all of it. Worried, Cecilia steps in between Sierra and Alice. Please stop. I don't want you two in trouble. It didn't take long for Sierra to calm down completely. It's all right, Cecilia. An argument like this has never brought us trouble, she reassures Cecilia with a loving smile. Try not to worry about it, okay? And Alice, just relax yourself, kiddo. We've been in trouble for far worse, I can promise you that. And a slight sarcasm comes out of Sierra. Right. Sierra, Alice, and Luke can hear a sound through their earpieces. Well, I've been summoned. Same here. Let's go see what the Admiral needs, okay, Cecilia? Okay. Yeah, lots of okays and yes from Cecilia. So, and to give you a perspective on her age, I forgot to mention this. Inglaronians have a 200-year lifespan, and let's just say they age like roughly every 2 years. So she's 32, which is equivalent to a 16-year-old. The three soldiers and Cecilia make their way to the bridge. The doors to the bridge opens up and they see Jacob already there at the left of the Admiral. 4 other soldiers can be seen in a straight line in front of the Admiral. And you get the gist here. Good, you're here. What's the situation? We are now within range of Anglaron's moons. I'm about to give the expedition team the intel, and I want you and Henning to provide additional information on what they are about to traverse. Yes, ma'am. Sierra stood next to the right. Stands next. We're not doing past tense here. Sierra stands next to the right of the Admiral, and Sierra went back to Sierra's workstation. Alice and Luke are watching from afar. Team, you'll soon be transported to the 2 moons orbiting around Anglaron. Henning? The moons are called Sema and Vlalen. Even though the Anglaronians rejected our technology a long time ago, we colonized on these moons. There is one facility for each moon, built with the sole purpose of keeping watch over the Anglaronians in case if something were to occur. Obviously, something did happen. 10 years ago, we've lost contact with the starship Lycaonia, as well as the moons immediately afterwards. Other colonies within Monarch were told not to travel to Anglaron for their own safety. Whatever happened, whatever the reason, couldn't be helped. Jacob looks to Sierra and she points to Cecilia. But 3 weeks ago, Cecilia landed on Earth in an escape pod that belonged to the Mycia, one of the rescue vessels we sent to Anglaron. She looks to the team. This gives us the indication that a human might have possibly sent her to Earth and that Anglaron can be approached. While recovering, she told us that she has made contact with other humans in the past, that her home is in danger, and that monsters are involved. With all this in mind, there may be a link between what has happened to the Lycaonia, the rescue vessels, the moons, and Anglaron itself. And you get the gist that she's talking with the team. This will be your mission, to search through the facilities on the moons and see if there are clues to find. We'll send you to Sema first. She looks to the soldier second to her left. Second to the left. And she looks to the soldier second to the left. Marcus, you will be the captain for this operation. Yes, ma'am. Mazer and Derrickson will act as bodyguards for your team if there is something out of the ordinary. This confuses Sierra, especially hearing Alice's name. Wait, really? Like I said, friend, I had endless opportunities to learn nearly everything, and boy, did I take them. And Derrickson has had experience traversing natural satellites before. That is correct. Suit up and head down to the transporter. Let's do transporter room. Is that correct? Did I write transporter room? Okay. I guess that's correct. Suit up and head down to the transporter room. Equipped body cams as well. Marcus's team, Alice, and Luke saluting. Yes, ma'am. Marcus's team, Alice, and Luke head towards the elevator. Sierra is slightly annoyed. I don't know why I'm even surprised. That's just like her. Sierra goes to her station, and the Admiral looks at her with concern before sitting down. She then presses a button which connects to the transporter room. Killian, the expedition team are heading your way. Have the transporters ready. Got it, Admiral. The Admiral looks to another crew member named Garcia, who's to her right. Garcia, have the monitor ready. Yes, ma'am. The crew members in the transporter room are setting things up for Marcus's team. He and his team enters inside the room. Marcus then hands Killian a list containing a series of numbers. Here are the coordinates. We'll be landing on the launch pad close to the facility. Got it. The expedition team prep themselves for transportation. Marcus presses a button on his mask, which connects to the bridge of the starship. Need to do that. Admiral, we are about to be transported. And let's do through Marcus's mask. All right, we're ready for your footage on your end. All of you start your body cams as soon as you step foot on SEMA. Yes, ma'am. He looks to Killian. All right, Killian, send us. Yes, sir. Killian presses a button, and light starts to illuminate around Marcus's team. They then vanish. The team reappears on the starship launch pad on SEMA. Right in front of them is a human-made facility that looks abandoned. Okay, team, turn on your gravitic stabilizers and body cams. From the bridge of the Phoenicia, a monitor is displaying 4 different video viewpoints. Okay, Marcus, we have visual. Roger, Admiral. The crew members on the bridge can see the facility on SEMA through the video. Some are horrified looking at it, especially Rivers. Oh my god, this looks awful. Marcus, confirm. The facility looks to be severely damaged. Affirmative, Admiral. The facility looks worse for wear. It also doesn't appear to show any signs of life. Proceed with caution. Do you think you can enter inside? We'll see. Okay, team, let's go. Marcus's team moves forward to the entrance of the facility. The doors are missing. They enter inside and see a hangar for delivery starships. A few starships are present, but are completely destroyed. The hangar itself also has scorch marks seen throughout the area. As they delve deeper into the hangar, the team can see human bodies that are completely burnt. Marcus contacts the Admiral through his mask. Admiral, I think I'm seeing burnt human bodies. He looks to his left. And extraterrestrials as well. Back on the Phoenicia, the Admiral is a little shocked at the video feed. This is worse than I thought. Do we have any idea who worked in this facility? Jacob. Humans and Tatelians. Out of all the planets we've discovered back then, the inhabitants of Tatelinets decided to coexist and aid us. Marcus, how many bodies do you see? Altogether, there are 5, and I get the feeling there might be more deep inside. Send Killian the coordinates. We'll need to give them a proper burial once we get back to Earth. I'll let you know when the transporters are ready. Roger, Admiral. Back on the Phoenicia, the Admiral contacts the transporter room. Killian, be ready to transport corpses from SEMA to you. I'll give you the order once preparations are a go. The medics from sickbay will handle the rest. Through the intercom, Killian sounds slightly hesitant. Okay, if you say so. Matthews, you know what to do. I'm on it. She looks to Cecilia. I will be right back. Okay. Sierra goes to the elevator. Garcia is confused. Admiral? If I encounter any comrades or associates from the Federation that have long since passed on, I take it upon myself to give them a proper burial they deserve, even if I've never met them in person. The Phoenicia has cryostasis chambers on board. Those who have fallen will be preserved until we get home. Understood. And Cecilia, I wouldn't say she's curious, but she does understand the meaning of death. If my people will not wake up, they go back into home. She looks to the Admiral. Will your people go back in your home, Annabelle? Yes, something like that. Sierra and the other medics make their way to the transporter room with a few stretchers. They are also suited up for hazmat purposes. They enter inside the room. And Sierra looks to Killian. Make sure you and your team are away from the frame when we move them. Yes, ma'am. Sierra contacts the Admiral through her mask. Admiral, we are ready. Okay, she contacts Marcus. Marcus, we're about to transport one body at a time. Roger, Admiral. She contacts Killian. Killian, begin transportation. Yes, ma'am. On Sema, might as well save. On Sema, one of the burnt bodies starts illuminating light all around before vanishing completely. The body reappears in the transporter room. Sierra looks to two medics. Okay, you two, go. Two medics went inside and carefully picked up the body, placing it on top of the stretcher. They then moved the stretcher out of the transporter room. This continues until all of the bodies seen on Sema thus far are transported to the Phoenicia, after which Sierra sanitizes the whole area and goes back to sick bay to help the other medics. Sierra contacts the Admiral. Okay, Admiral, that's all of them. Good work, all of you. Be on standby if we see more. Yes, ma'am. Marcus, proceed deeper into the facility. Roger, Admiral. Let's move. Marcus's team passes through another entry leading to a small control room. Marcus opens another door in the room, which leads. Marcus opens another door in the room, which should. Okay. So I was right the first time. Marcus opens another door in the room, which should lead to the rest of the facility, but it's completely destroyed. Nothing but collapsed structures on the moon's grounds. This leaves Luke a little confused, and Alice shows some concern. What? Yeah. Marcus contacts the Admiral. Admiral, there's nothing beyond this point. Back on the bridge of the Phoenicia, the crew members begin to murmur at the sight of the video feed. Even the Admiral is completely shocked. Oh my goodness. This is awful. Who could have done something like this? I don't know. Marcus, is it possible to traverse past the frame? On Sema, Marcus tries looking from afar. Probably. I do see a few points in the area that don't have a lot of debris. Can you search those areas? Will do. He looks to his team. Let's split up. You three search in that direction and we'll take this direction. Yes, sir. The team splits into two groups, one going from left and one going front left and one going front right. They take their time searching the areas. Admiral Matthews, please. After a while, Marcus's team regroups. Admiral, we couldn't find anything. None at all? Affirmative. The Admiral closes her eyes and takes a deep breath, feeling defeated. I guess we're done here. She contacts Marcus. We'll be sending you and your team to Vlayland next. Step away from the facility and prepare for transportation. Yes, ma'am. He looks to his team. We'll be going to Vlayland. Let's go. Yes, sir. The Admiral has her head down and hands crossed. Cecilia is concerned about her. Annabelle, are you okay? I'm okay, Cecilia. How many were on Sema? 67 were employed on Sema, from pilots to engineers to researchers. You get the idea. He looks at the monitor. But we've only found 5. In the Admiral. Rivers, does any of this seem strange to you? What do you mean? All right, there we go. Where are the other 62 employees? The room went silent. We would have found the majority of them at most, but we didn't. Not even a limb, as morbid as it sounds. She looks at the monitor. And now seeing that half of this facility is destroyed, I get the feeling that whoever did this was sending a message. Okay, Admiral, we're ready. All right, then. She contacts Killian. Killian, transport Marcus's team to Vlayland. You got it, Admiral. Marcus's team is transported to the launch pad on Vlayland. The team immediately notices that even though the facility also looks abandoned, nothing about it is damaged. Marcus contacts the Admiral. Admiral, we're about to enter inside. Proceed. Let's move. Marcus's team enters inside the hangar of the facility. There is nothing. No ships nor living beings on site. Maybe I should have said corpses, but I don't know. They then proceed to the control room of the hangar. Marcus tries to tinker with the computers inside. The system isn't working. Looks like we're not... Alice, looks like we're not getting anything here. Maybe, maybe not. We'll need to get to the main office in this facility. There has to be something we can uncover. Let's find it. Marcus's team ventures deeper into the facility, from long hallways leading to various empty living quarters. Cecilia is looking at the monitor I think I meant to say attentively, but I spelled it wrong. There we go. Cecilia is looking at the monitor attentively. I do not see your people. These are uncomfortably empty. Yeah, you get it. These are uncomfortably empty. And left intact, too. Marcus's team eventually finds the main office of the facility. They see several computers in the room. Search every computer in here. If any of them work, search through the files. Yes, sir. Each team member checks the computers in the office while Alice and Luke guard the entrance. None of the computers are functional, leaving Marcus a little annoyed. There is no way we're leaving here empty-handed. There has to be something we could find. Captain, over here. Marcus makes his way to the team member. Did you find anything? Is that computer working? Unfortunately, no. But I did find some external storage devices. Maybe we can uncover the files inside. Good work. I wonder if we could find more of these. I'll look around again. Keep on it. A second team member has finished searching through a shelf full of documents. Captain, there are also documents here. The last folder dates back all the way to 2235 AD. It doesn't exceed past it. Take those two. Team, anything you find that dates back to 2235 AD is now our top priority. Yes, sir. Back on the Phoenicia, the crew members are surprised by Marcus's findings. All right, it looks like we're getting somewhere, I'll say. Marcus's team are done searching through the main office. Okay, Admiral, we're all done here. Good work, team. Exit out of the facility and prepare to be transported back. Roger. After exiting the facility, Marcus and his team are transported back to the Phoenicia. They immediately report to the Admiral on the bridge. And I think this is what I added recently. This is what we were able to find. Documents dating back to 2235 AD and a few storage devices. Amazing work, everyone. Do you think this will be enough to find out what happened here? A little goes a long way. Oh, Alice was asking that. Do you think this will be enough to find out what happened here? A little goes a long way, Mazer. I'm sure this will do. So what do we do now? We'll have the research team handle this. Follow me. Yes, ma'am. The Admiral, Marcus, and his team make their way to the research room of the starship. A researcher named Olsen just got done uncovering Marcus's findings. So what was uncovered here? Olsen is holding a document and one of the storage devices. So far, it seems that the only two things worth noting here are this document and this storage device. Both date back to 2235 AD. February 15th, to be exact. It appears that the employees on Vlaylen have also noticed the Lycaonia's lack of communication. This is what was written. He hands the Admiral the document, and she begins to read. And since she's reading, I might as well... Well, let me see. No, let's leave it. February 15th, 2235 AD. All preparations for our expedition to Angleron are a go. 2 of our starships are ready for launch. I'm just waiting for the captain's orders. He's been attending several meetings for the past few days now. It looks like things are about to get serious. After all this is done, I can't wait to turn in my vacation time. It's been forever, but I've heard that Venice really outdid themselves when it comes to tourism. I really miss the scenery over there. Austria, too. I forgot about that. So many options, so little time. It looks like the captain is done with his meeting. I hope we'll find out why the Lycaonia can't be bothered to answer us. Who knows what awaits us down there? Well, time to... The passage abruptly stops right there. The Admiral looks to Olsen. Wait a minute. Actually, I can just do this. I can do that, and this. Much better. Okay. Do we have any idea who wrote this? Olson looks to Marcus. You said that this was found on a desk, right? Was there a nameplate? Yes, it had the name Gabriel Mitchell's on it. I see. I'll have to keep that in mind. She looks to Olson. What about that storage device? Surprisingly, there aren't any digital documents contained in this. Instead, there are videos. Videos. Correct. Inside there is. Let's see. Inside this. All right. Inside this is a maybe I should. There is a single folder inside this. There is a single folder inside this that reads. Okay, let's see. Correct. There is a single folder inside this that reads Francine Franklin's archive. Is it possible to view the footage? Thankfully, we can. The video format isn't too outdated, so we're able to view it. Proceed. Olson plugs the storage device into his computer. He goes through it and finds a folder that reads Francine Franklin's archive. He opens the folder and 4 video files can be found, which has February 3rd, February 8th, February 12th, and February 15th dated. Olson plays the February 15th video. In the footage, a very happily young woman is seen sitting down at her desk looking directly at the camera. And this is her talking. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Francine Franklin's archive. Right now it is February 15th, 2235 AD here on Vleyland. For the past few days, I was worried I wouldn't be able to do this again, but I think I finally found a way to continue my series around my work schedule. It took a while to adjust to my surroundings, seeing how I won't be able to go home anytime soon. I'm in this for the long run. She's a very lively person. I've been overhearing a conversation or 3 amongst other researchers for a while now. I don't know what's going on in general, but what I do know is that it has something to do with Angleron. The thing is, the starship Lycaonia that was sent over there a month ago isn't responding to any of our messages, let alone messages sent from Earth. At first, I thought it might have been the Angleronians' doing, but I was quickly corrected by my superior. They are a peaceful people, so they would never halt other beings. Very correct. I guess our fellow soldiers are preparing for a potential trip to Angleron. She shrugs. I don't know what I would be doing, seeing as I only research various materials found on the planet. Who knows? Maybe they'll find something for us to experiment with. She looks to her right. I wonder if Dr. Carlson... Before Francine could finish what she is saying, various soldiers and researchers can be seen passing from her left. Confused, she looks to one of the soldier that was about to walk past her. What's going on? We are to report to the captain. Apparently something was caught on radar. Hurry. Okay. She looks back at the camera. I didn't think things were going to get this busy. It looks like I won't be on camera for a while. With good spirits, she smiles. Ah, well, I'm sure this will blow over eventually. I'll be back to making more videos for this series in no time. She throws a peace sign. Until then, catch you later. Francine out. The video ends, and Admiral Matthews is now lost in thought. The video ends, and Admiral Matthews is now lost in thought. And she hasn't made a follow-up since. The poor woman. He looks to the Admiral. Do you think there may be a connection between Mitchell's documents and Franklin's video? Apart from the Lycaonia, it's possible that something else landed on Angleron as well. Not just interfering with us, but also with the planet's people too. Do you think it might be a species we know of? I hope not, but we'll find out soon enough. After some time, the Phoenicia finally makes it to the planet Angleron. The crew members on the bridge can see the planet from the window. Here we are. Admiral, you might want to take a look at this. Display. Garcia displays Angleron on the monitor for the crew members to see. One continent on the planet is completely brown with dark clouds obstructing the view. Sierra is a little shocked. Are those the Badlands, Cecilia? Cecilia is, again, attentively. Cecilia is attentively looking at the monitor. I think so, yes. Admiral Matthews, it definitely is. This is no joke. Well, we have no time to lose. She stands up. All right, team, front and center. Jacob, Alice, and Luke start walking straight for the Admiral. Sierra looks to Cecilia. Let's go. Okay. Sierra and Cecilia start lining up next to the other soldiers. They are all looking at the Admiral. Your mission is to find out what is happening over at the affected continent on Angleron. If there is someone on the planet that's causing this predicament, apprehend them immediately, and make sure that no living creature on Angleron is harmed. I'm sure none of them have any idea as to what's going on. She looks to Sierra. Matthews, you'll be the captain for this mission. You decide on who does what from then on. Yes, Admiral. I will lead my team through to the end. I know you will. She looks to the rest of the team. Ready your equipment and head down to the transporter room. End of briefing. Excluding Cecilia, the soldiers salute to the Admiral. Yes, ma'am. Sierra's team exits from the bridge and into the elevator, leading them to their living quarters. Grab your equipment and grab any equipment you might need. Jacob and Luke. Yes, ma'am. Alice. I've already got what I need. Then we'll meet you at the transporter room. Except for Alice, everyone exits out of the elevator. Alice peeks her head out of the elevator. Try not to keep me waiting, friend. They all went to their respective living quarters. Sierra packs up her battle equipment and medical supplies. All right, Cecilia, are you ready? Cecilia's holding her sword and her firearm. Yes. Okay, let's go. Sierra and Cecilia exit out of their living quarters and crosses paths with Jacob and Luke. Preparations are a go. Both Jacob and Luke present their respective equipment. Got it. Here. Good. Let's move. They all enter into the elevator and are then taken to the transporter room where Alice is waiting. Welcome back. Sierra gives Killian the coordinates to Angleron. Here are the coordinates. Roger. Let's get into position. She looks to Cecilia. Right in here, Cecilia. All of them step into the circled pads inside the transporter chamber. However, back on the bridge, Garcia notices an abnormality on his display. Realizing that it is an incoming attack, he alerts the Admiral. Admiral, we have guided missiles incoming. Where from? That's a question. Why is that a period? There we go. A few miles in front of us. They're coming in quick. The Admiral looks at the front window and can see the missiles making their way towards the starship. Yep, there they are. Garcia, shields up and prepare phasers. Yes, ma'am. Garcia flips a switch to activate the Phoenicia shields and presses a few buttons to prepare the phasers. Phasers ready, Admiral. Fire. Garcia fires the Phoenicia's phasers and destroys the incoming missiles. The blast was close enough that the starship shook. Sierra's team felt the shaking as well. Alice is unamused. Huh. You can tell. There we go. Alice is unamused. Huh. What was that? What is happening? Are we in trouble? I'll contact the Admiral. Listen in, everyone. Back on the bridge, the crew members see that the smoke from the blast is fading away. The missiles were destroyed. Direct hit, Admiral. Good. See if you can pinpoint the missile's origins. I'm on it. Sierra contacts the Admiral through her earpiece. Admiral, what was that just now? The rest of Sierra's team hit the rest in Sierra's team are listening in through their respective earpieces. A few missiles were on radar, but we've dealt with it. We're currently finding the origin of the missiles. Hold off your transportation until further instructions. Yes, ma'am. Alice has her arms crossed. Well, now I guess we're not welcomed. Let's wait and see. Back on the bridge, Garcia is able to find where the missiles were launched from. I found the point of origin, Admiral. Where at? Right at the affected continent on Engleron. Do you think whoever is over there still has security measures? I hope not. Garcia's monitor starts to produce a warning sound. Admiral, it looks like we have enemy vessels heading our way. 2 of them. He looks at his monitor a little more. The space vessels appears right in front of the Phoenicia and are preparing to fire. They are about to fire at us. Shoot them down now. Yes, ma'am. Garcia fires at the space vessels. However, the effects from their phasers didn't damage them at all. They are absorbed instead. And Rivers is shocked. This isn't good. The space vessel starts firing at the Phoenicia. The whole starship shakes violently. Maybe I should do and. Yeah. The space vessel starts firing at the Phoenicia, and the whole starship shakes violently. Shields down 85%. Fire again. The space vessels are undamaged, and they fire at the Phoenicia again. 70%, Admiral. What are we going to do? Nothing's working. Admiral Matthews is in complete concentration. Admiral? Put all of our power into shields for now. I have an idea. Yes, ma'am. Admiral Matthews contacts Sierra through her earpiece. Matthews, transport yourself and your team to Angleron. Admiral, wait. What about the Phoenicia? We'll lure these vessels away from here as long as it will take. Have Killian transport you to one of the unaffected continents. Start your mission from there. We'll try to get back to you as soon as we can. I trust you with this. Yes, ma'am. She looks to Killian. Killian, forget the coordinates. Transport us to one of the unaffected continents. All right. Stay alive out there, all of you. I plan on it. Begin transportation to Angleron now. Killian presses the button, and Sierra's team gets transported off the Phoenicia. He gives out a slight salute. And that is the end of Chapter 4, The Moon Colonies. And I think that'll be it for tonight. It's getting late, so let me check Streamlabs, and yep, a lot more. But I'll give YouTube some time to let's see how far away this is. I guess that's okay. Oh well. Yeah, I think I'll end this right now. So yeah, those are the first 4 chapters. I may have to change. In fact, I think I'll go ahead and change it. Right, through 4. Please stop hovering over me. There we go. All right, so that's the Saviour prologues, the prologue in chapters 1 through 4. So this is something I've been working on for well over a year, and I'm currently working on chapter 8, The Crater. There's context of, I mean, you just saw in chapter 1, a crater is mentioned, so that's when they'll finally get to there. And chapter 5 is their experience on Angleron, on one of the unaffected continents. So yeah, I'll continue working more on this, and I actually do hope to make plans for something involving this story. So if it's something that interests you, stay tuned. I might come up with a few more plans involving this, so eventually, one day. Anyways, if anyone has tuned in later, thank you for tuning in and watching and listening to this story. Hope you've enjoyed it. And as always, I'll see you in the next live stream whenever I do this. So, my name is Xean RPG. Take care of yourself out there. I'll see you again soon. Bye.